Radical.
Welcome to Flea Market Stories, documenting one man's journey into the world of flea marketing. This will be the last thing I do before I go to sleep. I've had, between work and the flea market, 6 straight shifts over 4 days, and I'm freaking exhausted. But I'm going to power through this one and upload this one, then probably head to bed. So some of you leave comments right after this one. Might not get back to you tomorrow. So one question real quick. I'm going to talk about 2 things, and this is for the flea marketing from previous Sunday, before last, like 8-9 days ago. So my first question is concerning PlayStation 1 games. The CD jewel case, are there any differences between the CD jewel case that's used for PlayStation 1 games versus regular ones used for CDs, music CDs? Are there any differences? I ask this because, I'll go into it in a moment. First thing I'm going to talk about 2 things here. 2 notable things from this Saturday is there was a person that came from the office that had told me before that they had a copy of Silent Hill for PS1. And I said, ooh, now that's something. Do you have the disc or is it complete? The manual, the artwork, all that. She said, no, it's complete. So I was curious to check it out because that's a valuable game. It is. I would say one of the more valuable PS1 titles. And she came by with her boyfriend, who also works there, and she showed it to me. And I said, may I, test it out, see if it works fine and everything. Well, I mean, I didn't say that exactly. I said, well, may I test it out? Just kind of check it out. I was going to do that for her, and I said I'd try to find her a buyer for it. I was going to record a video and tell her that I'm going to connect with some of my buyers of like really rare games. And it started without a problem. Without a problem, it started. I said I want to get into the actual game, so I waited through the intro. Because sometimes when a game skips, it's going to skip very often on the intro. The rest of the game might work fine, but for some reason in my experience, especially with the PS1 games, the intro might skip a little bit for the game. I played that on the PS1. I recorded it. I sent it to a couple people, but they didn't get back with me. Still some other people I'm going to try, but I was really surprised because I didn't mention a price that they wanted, but I recorded that video, sent them to them. I told them, after looking up the price online, the average price, I saw some going for even over $200. I said, do not take under $200 for this right here. Do not. I looked at the back of the disc and very minimal light scratches, very minimal, but that's to be, expected. Very minimal. Like I said, played without a hitch, without a problem. I told them that I was going to look around for a jewel case because the problem with that one is most CD cases, there's always like a little crack or two on the front of it, usually, especially something from the 90s. Yeah, it's going to have like a little crack. So I said, what I would do for them for free would actually take one of the crap CDs that I have in a lot, maybe like a Christmas CD or something like that still has the wrapper on it. I would take the wrapper off, then I would increase the value of their game by putting it in a brand new jewel case. So then if they sell it, they could say the jewel case is immaculate. You would be surprised how just having a nicer case on a game, especially a rare game, a pristine case will actually increase the value. Think of any game. Think of any game that takes a case, whether it's Xbox, PlayStation. If you see like a ratty case with some cracks in it, you're not going to think the same way about it if you're going to go buy it as if you see something with a brand new shiny freaking case. Also, for free, give them a stage 1 cleaning. I haven't went over my stage 1 and stage 2 cleanings, but it's basically with an orbital car buffer is my stage 1 cleaning. Now you might ask, why am I so friendly to these people? Well, here's the thing. They work in the office. They work in the office. So it's not the worst idea to basically get in good with the people that work there, to the people that work in the office. So maybe there's a time where I need something and they might prioritize me over someone else. That's how you play the game. It's not fair to other people, but, maybe getting good with some of the people in the office, and they might, give me an eye on maybe a nice place for the winter. they might give me a first crack at one of the indoor buildings for the winter, which are more expensive, yes, but if I expand the gaming business past mostly a table, then I'm definitely going to need one of the inside areas. So yeah, the second thing I want to talk about is something that I had not done there before, at least on the scale of charging for, and it was an absolute disaster. The GameCube disc cleaning was an absolute disaster. There's this one guy I had promised that I can bring discs back from the dead. Not all discs, but most I can bring back. That's why I made a promise to this person, without realizing that he was going to not bring me a stack of discs that are scratched. He was going to bring me some discs that look terrible. And I'm thinking to myself, I've seen scratched up discs before, but these look freaking terrible, man. I mean, these discs, they had beyond scratches on them. They were claw marks, like Wolverine claw marks. And what's worse about it is the GameCube disc, there's not a lot of room for error. Meaning if you have some scratches on a little tiny, teeny tiny GameCube disc, then that is a lot worse than a regular size disc that's 2-3 times bigger. Because sometimes you might have a disc that has some scratches on it, or even some like deep ones. And you can clean it and it'll still play. But there's no room for error because if you have scratches, deep Wolverine claw marks on disc, then that's just not fair to me. Because my second stage, I just went right to the second stage. I said, damn, I'm going beyond to the second stage cleaning, and disc after disc after disc did not work. Also, I mean, I don't know if the guy just got him for a big deal or wanted to play the disc, but he said, see if I can try to get the Paper Mario to work. I really gotta I got to put this guy on blast a little bit. I got to. Because I just can't stand dirty consoles. He had a platinum GameCube, and that thing was nasty. Nasty. But to tell you how popular GameCube is right now, even it being dirty and nasty, I still have people walking by the table going, ooh, that's an old Nintendo. Ooh, that's a GameCube. It still gets a lot of attention even with it being dirty. And GameCube right now, I would say right now, is what's hot. From what I've seen on the auctions on Goodwill, the GameCube stuff going through the freaking roof, man. It's like, damn. I saw the other day a lot of 4 or 5 GameCube games, $300, man. Some of them I didn't even know. But they were in the cases and damn, So if I give me a GameCube lot, I'm in the freaking money, man. This is nuts. But maybe that's his idea also, that he's going to resell some of these games once I get them back to working. Because Paper Mario, there was, I think, a Tony Hawk game. There was, it was last weekend. I can't remember all the games. There's Paper Mario, I couldn't get to work. There was a Sonic I couldn't get to work. A couple others. I don't even want to make guesses at it because it's just. I wish I could remember what games are on there. Didn't matter though because they're clawed up all the fucking hell. I got one of them to work. One of the last games I put in worked, and I was thinking, damn. I had already at this point cleaned the system for free because it felt kind of bad, right? Because I told him I didn't deliver on my promises of restoring and bringing back a percentage. I said, at least maybe 70 to 80 I can bring back. I said, it's going to look terrible. And I'm spending this time too because I'm getting potential sales that are going by. People are going by as I'm cleaning these discs. And I'm not really thinking, I didn't think this through for various reasons, but I was so wanting to be able to bring people's discs back to life there. But I would mostly need a machine for his disc. They would need a layer of sanding to sand off that stuff. But I was thinking, damn, the disc he brings me, some of them might be bad, but not all of them are bad. Yeah, all of them were bad. except for one. The Super Monkey Ball had about like 1 or 2 deep scratches on it. But like I said, a small disc, if you have maybe 1 or 2, you can sometimes bring it back. I got Super Monkey Ball working, man. And I had that playing when he came back. I was happy about that. But like I said, I cleaned his system for free with Sprayway Glass Cleaner for free. And even the little CD thing he had specifically for GameCube. That's probably even worth some money. The little spindle that holds a little tiny disc. I cleaned it up also for free. He came back and he still wasn't happy. Like I said, got Super Monkey Ball working. And he was like, that's it. But half of it's on me for making promises I couldn't really deliver on. But to be fair, I mean, damn. Like I said, I kept thinking, you're bringing me these discs that don't even want to try to play. He didn't mention that. He didn't mention the severity of it, right? He should just be fucking happy that I got Super Monkey Ball working. And it works beautifully. It works perfect. I charged him $1. And I told him that exact game I sold here weeks back for like 30, and that was a deal. So for him coming down there, he got a free system cleaning. I cleaned his case for him. And for $1, I got Super Monkey Ball working. Now, granted, it doesn't have the original case. So maybe he might not get 30 for it if he's doing that or reselling it. But hell, he can play it. I mean, I told him to maybe consider coming back in a month when I get a dedicated machine, which would be the JFG Easy Pro. And I've seen that JFJ Easy Pro work on some settings. I've seen a guy, use scissors to put some dents in, put some scratches, not heavy, deep scratches, but to put a lot on a disc with scissors. And I've seen it brought a video back, maybe like a DVD. But the last thing I will just mention is, unless I have someone there, unless I have my assistant there, I underestimated how difficult it would be to run the table and clean those discs for the GameCube, because he had like maybe 8 or 9. So I'm going through the process. I'm using water, and I don't have a water source there. So I'm literally, pouring water from water bottles on there. So that's going to take some water from the water bottles. Looking at the cost of actually not just the water, but also the cost of possible missed sales. So I'm really kind of rethinking that and just stating I can only do that under certain circumstances. And maybe early in the morning, I'll tell people to come. He came right slap dab in the middle of noon, which is rush hour. So, yeah, I made $1 from that. Had to plug in his GameCube and also test it out. He also conveniently forgot to bring the controller. So I'm thinking, without the controller, can I even get these games to start up? I had to turn the system off, put the disc in, and then it would start up. But I had to do that for every separate disc. So yeah, disc cleaning on this day did not go so well.